I've lost over 160 pounds naturally, and I've kept it off for 9 years and counting. Let me show you how. Hi, I'm Shelly Johnson. I wrote Start Where You Are Weight Loss to teach you how to get off the diet go-round so you can get on with your life. You really can eat what you want, lose weight, and keep it off. I'll show you how. So I want to tell you about my weight loss journey today and how I transformed my body from 304 pounds to 130 pounds without dieting, so you can learn how you can transform your body without dieting too. For over 20 years, I'd been on what I call the diet go-round, jumping from one diet to the next, hoping this next one would be the answer. Never was. I always lost the weight, sometimes 100 pounds at a time, but then I'd always gain it back again in short order after I stopped following the diet. During those decades, I also struggled with 2 eating disorders, bulimia and compulsive overeating. At my heaviest, I weighed 304 pounds and wore a size 26. I had 2 decades worth of experience with nutrient guidelines, memorizing calorie counts, measuring food, and eliminating entire food groups. I had a vast knowledge about nutrition and weight loss techniques, and yet I still could never keep the weight off for more than a year. Finally, in exasperation, I wrote a single question in my journal. If it's not about food, then what is it? That single question started my final weight loss journey and transformed both my body and my life. What I came to learn is that weight loss isn't about food at all. It's about what you think about food and its role in your life. I also knew I didn't want to live my life in a body that didn't feel comfortable to me and didn't feel like home to me. I refused to believe that there was no hope, even though the statistics said that the vast majority of people who go on diets of any kind gain all the weight back within 5 years. There had to be something else going on, and I got determined to figure out what that was. I knew I needed to heal my relationship with food and also with myself. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, so I stayed home a lot. I hid away in my room and didn't much feel like I was truly showing up for my own life. I didn't want to be seen, didn't want to have my picture taken, didn't want to risk stepping out of my comfort zone to go after what mattered to me. I was also having health problems with pain in my ankles, knees, and hips. I breathed hard when I went up a single flight of stairs. I was dangerously close to becoming diabetic. And so out of sheer desperation, and because I didn't know what else to do, I made a commitment to myself to save my own life. I decided to stop listening to everyone else, their rules and guidelines and ideas on how I should live my life. I decided to start listening to myself. What did I want to do? What works best for me? That was a scary day because all the responsibility for how my life turned out was on me. But it was also an incredibly empowering and freeing day for the same reason, because all the choices were mine and mine alone. I also remember feeling like I was at the bottom of a mountain looking at the summit, which was my goal weight, and thinking, there's no way. But I made a commitment to myself anyway, to see my weight loss journey all the way through to the end. First, it took believing I was worth the commitment, which I hadn't always believed was true. And second, it was choosing to make that commitment unbreakable, meaning no matter what, I was not going to abandon myself and quit. A 174-pound weight loss and maintaining it long term seemed absolutely impossible to me at that time. Yet I started anyway, and I simply kept going until I finished. It was a combination of believing in my own worth and value and making an unbreakable commitment to my own health and healing that made what seemed impossible to me into I'm possible. I shed the weight naturally, without pills, surgery, disordered eating, expensive health products or interventions, or anything along those lines. I just listened to my body and let it be my guide, eating only when I was hungry, then stopping when I was comfortably full. That's how I started, and that's what I do today to maintain the weight loss. I don't have any restrictions on food except if I'm allergic to it. I eat whatever I want without judgment. That's what I needed to do to heal myself and my relationship with food. I also did some deep introspection as to why I was using food in a way it was never intended to be used. That introspection, the answer to the question, if it's not about food, then what is it, eventually became a book I wrote called Start Where You Are Weight Loss. I believe, from having lived it, that weight loss has very little to do with food choices and mostly to do with healing your mindset about food. Mindset is what my book aims to help you heal. It took me 2 years to shed the weight. As of today, I weigh 130 pounds and wear a size 2. I've kept the weight off for 9 years and counting. I have no fear of gaining the weight back and not knowing what to do about it. I no longer have any eating disorders. I don't live in fear, confusion, frustration, and shame about food. I got free. Your life can be that way too. I transformed my body by trusting it and listening to it. I transformed my life by trusting myself and listening to my intuition. You can and need to do the same for your own life. It doesn't matter how slowly you go. Truly, it doesn't. The only thing that matters is that you don't stop. So you keep going and refuse to give up on yourself. If you do that, you'll get to where you most want to be, in a body that feels like home to you, into a life that makes you excited to be alive. Oh yes, you will.
Start Where You Are Weight Loss can teach you how to eat what you want, lose weight, and keep it off long term. Get a free guide on my website with the 5 lessons you need to learn for effective and permanent weight loss.
Just remember, every mistake is simply a brand new chance to do it better the next time.